welcome back to Beauty Bee. Today's topic is kind of an odd one and a little bit of an uncomfortable one, I think, for a lot of people. And this is about the difference between owning a product to use it versus using a product to justify owning it. Now, I actually don't think that this is inherently a good versus bad decision, pure versus evil capitalist decision, anything along those lines. But I think it is really worthwhile for us as consumers to be cognizant of the reasons behind our purchases and to think critically about whether that's what we really want to do. Now, though I am going to center this conversation around beauty and I might touch on a little bit of fashion here and there, this can extend to pretty much every area of your life as a consumer. And I think a lot of us have fallen into one of these or kind of want to fall into one of these. And I am not telling you never buy anything pretty again, never enjoy packaging, never purchase something largely because it's a Star Wars collab and you love Star Wars. Trust me, when ColourPop eventually gets that Star Wars collab, because they will just run out of other entities to collab with at some point, I'm probably gonna get whatever it is. Hate that, but it's kind of true. So let's talk about a few of the different ways I see this coming up. Now, the first ones are kind of obvious, I think. You see that an influencer or an intellectual property you like is coming out with a collab with some brand, and your first thought is, what am I going to get from that collection? Not, I want this thing already. I'm looking in the market for a peach blush, let's say, and ColourPop happens to be coming out with a peach blush, and it's in R2-D2 packaging, which would be weird, but I'd be on board with. Or maybe it's for your fantasy self, that gothic queen that you thought you were going to be when you grew up at 14, maybe really wants this Black Moon Cosmetics liquid lipstick, or you just feel like you would be someone who had their life together if you had 3 Tom Ford lipsticks and all in matching packaging and they were all your perfect nude. Now, of course, is a lipstick going to make you into that goth queen or make you as organized as you want to be? No. Otherwise, you know how many Tom Ford lipsticks I would buy in order to become perfectly organized? My bank account shudders, and quite frankly, so does all of my storage space. There's buying for nostalgia. Maybe it's not the collab brand of nostalgia. Maybe it's because you always wanted a Chanel powder when you were a kid, or you remember your mom taking you to the Estee Lauder counter when you were 14, and you just want to repeat that experience or live up that experience that you envisioned as a child. There's also just buying for novelty. You want something new, you want to refresh. You're not necessarily looking to fill a gap in your collection or do a very particular look that requires a blue eyeshadow. You just want to buy something new and you work backwards to find a gap in your collection and to purchase something to fill it. And I feel like I need to keep reiterating this. None of that is wrong. If there's $1 from your purchase going to a charity, that's not a negative if it features into your decision to purchase. But it is worthwhile to be aware that that is influencing your actions. Because I am a mathematician at heart, I sat down and I came up with a definition that I felt encapsulated all of these situations. And I'm going to read it right off because, again, I'm a mathematician, so my definitions need to be pretty precise. And I came up with the definition of using to justify ownership as an occasion where the utility or benefit that the item's intended purpose brings to your life is a secondary concern or not a concern when making your purchasing decision. I think we talk about utility in beauty quite a bit on this channel, and utility is, I need a pink lipstick, therefore I'm going to find the pink lipstick with reasonable packaging that is functional. Looking at you, Wet n Wild, because yours isn't. Is a color that flatters my skin tone, is a formula that is not going to be dry and will stay in pretty good shape throughout the day, fits the number of times I'm going to reapply, etc., and comes in an amount that's reasonable. Not too big, not too small, just baby bearing the amount at a price I can afford. That doesn't mean I can't also say, wow, those Chantecaille lipsticks are really pretty. I want hummingbird packaging, or whatever they're on now. I don't actually keep up with them because I can't afford anything they sell, so what's the point? I think a good litmus test for this is if there was a true generic for makeup, would you take it? Now, I don't mean a generic like a Pop-Tart style generic where it tastes like cardboard. I mean a generic like, say, over-the-counter medications. If you purchase brand name Tylenol or acetaminophen, it is my understanding, I am not a doctor, so do not take this as any kind of medical advice. It is my understanding that they have the same requirements. They must use the same active ingredients. Their cleanliness standards are set by the FDA. So it's going to be functionally the same, but you're missing the brand name, you're missing the packaging. Maybe you're missing a little bit of flavor or something. A similar situation in makeup might be buying a Charlotte Tilbury blush that comes in that beautiful rose gold plastic compact. Makes you feel very fancy when you use it, has that Charlotte Tilbury name behind it, etc. Versus getting the same pan of product, but it comes in a perfectly serviceable and decent quality, but kind of ugly compact with no brand name, no nothing attached to it. Would you still be just as interested in the product? I think that this is something that's really worth questioning. And though I personally really strive to own products, to use them, that is, when I'm shopping, I try to fill holes in my collection. For example, I know I don't have pretty much any brightly colored eyeshadow, and I would like to do some brighter looks on my eyes. Therefore, when I go out and look to purchase a new eyeshadow, I'm looking for something fairly bright. And I will try to balance this desire for bright colors with other features like price and usable packaging and easy availability to me. I hope you'll leave your thoughts down in the comments. I'm very interested to hear other people's thoughts on this, and I do want this to be a conversation. I wish I had my life figured out to the point where I could just preach at people and not be hypocrite. But that is very, very far off and probably not going to happen because I'm not a wreck. I'm just like 60% a wreck. Also, if you don't want to contribute to the conversation on consumerism, maybe you can contribute to the conversation on what am I supposed to do with these ties. They're attached right at my shoulders, and they seem wrong no matter what I do with them, but this is the cutest version I've found so far. Please give thoughts. I need help. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you'll like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. See ya!